Okay, now I hope I'm live. Perfect. Let's get started. So, hello everybody, welcome back to another session on Bootstrap. Okay, already we have got two comments. Hi Somu, I want to ask, can we skip Bootstrap and learn Tailwind CSS? Um, so guys, basically there are only two more sessions which will be there on Bootstrap. I do not want to just end it in between. Okay, so we'll finish this Bootstrap as soon as possible, and then we are covering up Tailwind CSS also. As I've already told you that there'll be 3 hour session on Tailwind CSS. Soon it's gonna get covered, and I have a very great news today. I took some time out and I decided and I planned on something very you know new thing which is coming up in CodeBeyond channel. So I will be telling about that as soon as possible right now in this particular session. But before that, I welcome you all to this particular session which is on Bootstrap. This is part number 5 and lesson number 79. So you must be knowing that already 4 sessions have been done on Bootstrap. If you've not seen that, go ahead and watch it, because in those sessions we have already covered most of the things about Bootstrap. And tomorrow we are going to cover some Bootstrap projects, so be ready for that, because in Bootstrap projects we'll be not only learning how to use JavaScript, CSS and HTML, but also how to use whatever we have learned in our session, right? How to create a web page using Bootstrap. That's what we are going to do, see tomorrow as well, correct? So uh, that's what we are planning and we are doing. Now, talking about these sessions, if you are new here, then you must be knowing that this CodeBeyond channel is obviously of Unacademy, and we are providing here different playlists on different domains like backend programming, front-end programming, DSS, CP, and all other educators are taking different sessions. I am here taking a front-end part. So already I've covered some of the most important topics, which is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, ES6, advanced JavaScript, which we also say it as, and all those things are covered. Now we have also covered Bootstrap, and Tailwind CSS will be covered, right? 2 sessions will be of jQuery as well. uh, I'll also tell you why I'm taking jQuery. Most of you will be saying that jQuery should not be taken because nobody is using jQuery right now, but I will also tell you the reason why I'm covering jQuery once I will cover jQuery at that time. Okay. um yeah, so that is all about front-end playlist. Now what I'm going to talk to you about or tell you about is the next planning, right? So remember I told you that I was a little bit confused in what particular topic we should come out with, right? So now there's a whole new idea, and I've took some time out to uh, plan and schedule all these sessions. So we are coming up with Java, which is not only core but advanced. So it's a complete Java tutorial which I'm coming up with. Just like I've created front end playlist where I've put on all HTML, CSS, JavaScript and all. The same way I'm going to come up with Java tutorial from Monday. So from Monday till the end of January, maybe 2 3 days of February also you can take. We will be covering Java. Okay, so the whole complete Java tutorial will be there from core Java to advanced. Soon will be there will be a trailer launch also, or the schedule will be shared with you where all the plannings and everything is given. Okay, and we are going to strictly follow that so that every day you get something from my side. So that is the plan right now, and we will be covering Java right away. Okay. React.js, if somebody is willing to ask this question that you are coming with React.js, what happened? So basically React.js, I think one of our fellow educator is taking. So go ahead and learn with him right now, because that's going really well. And once that is get finished later on, maybe by February mid, I'll come back with React.js, right? So I'll come back with the React.js, with the new React.js playlist, and then we will again continue with that, right? But right now Java was in demand. Many of you have told that we want Java from core to advanced. So let's do that, right? Okay, so that is all my plannings for this month. Now let's get started with my introduction. So my name is Ritwik Raj, and I am a corporate trainer, plus I've also worked as an SME, like a subject matter expert, research analyst in most of the edtech companies. I have 3+ years of teaching experience, and I have trained graduates and corporate employees from Edge and Capgemini. I've trained more than 30K students till now. It is increasing day by day. Subjects which I take is mostly into front-end development, back-end languages, database languages, and interview preparation, like tips and tricks on how to crack interviews. And one more thing is about Relevel. So if you do not know about Relevel, do not worry. Just in 1 minute, I'm going to tell you about that. But if you can use my code RIT10, you will get a free sample test paper of Relevel, right? So you must be knowing that you have to give a Relevel exam, which is of 1,000 marks. And it's very, very important for you to get to know about those exams, right? Right? Like what all questions can be asked, what patterns of questions will be asked. So all those things will be uh, you'll get an idea about all those things from this sample paper. So use the code and get this sample test paper. Okay, now people who do not know about Relevel, let me just tell you about it. So many times candidate miss out on great opportunities, like if somebody is has done BSc or BCom and they want to jump into IT field, they have the skills, they have the talent, but still they are not getting inside MNC because companies are rejecting their resumes. Maybe they are looking into the degree, right? And because they have not done engineering, that's why they're getting rejected. So this is a stupid reason, because if they have the skill, they should be getting hired or interviewed at least, right? So one more problem is many of you are engineers, but still your resumes are getting rejected. Reason being, your college, you're from tier 3 college, and many of the companies wants good candidates from tier 2, tier 1. You are also good, you have the skill, but still companies do reject these resumes, right? So these were the problems, and that is why Relevel came into picture, which is India's first self-hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs, right? Just 1 second, let me check if my audio is okay. Perfect, everything is fine. So yeah, so that's why Relevel is there, which will actually give you a job on the basis of just skill and talent, nothing else. They are not going to ask you which particular college you are from or what degree do you have, nothing. Just checking your skills. How they are going to judge on your skills? You have to take an exam of 1,000 marks and you have to score above 700. If you score above 700, we'll create a profile for you, and that will be shared among all our 100+ clients across globe, and they'll be interviewing you and you are getting hired. Okay, now there are 1,000+ job positions across business development, front development, or backend development, so you can choose whichever development field you want to go in. Now how to register yourself? So you can see a link which is given in the description of the video. You can just click on it and it will take you to relevel.com. Once you go there, you have to register by giving a mobile number and your OTP. Once you do that, you have to select the test of your choice. So you can choose whichever test you want to select from here, whichever skill do you have. Click on that and then you can book a slot when you want to give the level test. Okay, slots are limited, so I suggest to book it fast, and you can fill in the details for the admit card. Once you do this, you can see there a referral code and apply button is there. So write the code RIT10, click on apply, and then click on create account. Once you do that, your account will be created and you will be having a sample paper as well. Suppose if you are not using the coupon code, you won't be able to get the sample paper, so make sure that you are using that. Okay, so that's the all steps of registering for Relevel. Please go ahead and do it right away if you have not done it. Suppose if you're not ready for the exam, then don't worry. Go ahead and upskill yourself by this CodeBeyond channel. There are so many educators taking so many and explaining so many domains of or contributing to the community, right? So go ahead and do that. Upskill yourself. Once you're ready, then register. If you've already registered, then all the best for the exam. Okay. Perfect. So there's a Telegram channel link also given in the video description. You can go ahead and click on it and do join the channel as well, because here you'll get an update about Relevel, about all the companies which is getting hiring is going on, and also all the educators when they're coming live at what time with what topic. All those updates and messages you will get here in this channel, right? So please do join this channel as well. Also, please do subscribe the YouTube channel, which is CodeBeyond, because more and more number of people will get to know about this, because this is all free content. As you can see, you can go ahead and see the content of CodeBeyond. You'll be able to find how many different variations of topics have been covered here, and many of the learners are getting these knowledge for free. So go ahead and subscribe so that more and more number of people will get to know, and you will get an update in the notifications app as well, right? So please do like and share as well if you like this video. And before starting Bootstrap part 5, we have already covered so many things in Bootstrap, right? We have covered about some 15 topics, and we have seen how carousel works. We have seen how it's easy for you to use Bootstrap instead of directly using CSS, right? Before Bootstrap, I also taught you about CSS preprocessors, where we have used Sass and less, and I've talked about how we can write those codes and how it is very easy for you to use it, right? But Sass and less again is very complicated. Bootstrap is something which is a framework which is designed using HTML and CSS, not HTML, CSS, basically CSS and JavaScript, and it's now very useful, right? So you can just write 5 to 6 lines of code in Bootstrap, and it will work the same how your 50 lines of code of CSS will work, right? So that's why we are learning Bootstrap. And if you talk about 2022 roadmap of web development, right, or front-end developer, Bootstrap is mandatory, right? Earlier it was not, because only HTML, CSS and JavaScript, mainly ES6 was really very important. But now Bootstrap is also coming into picture because of Bootstrap 5. Now Bootstrap 5, why I'm pointing in Bootstrap 5, because Bootstrap 5 is the most latest version of Bootstrap, and it is not having jQuery in it. So earlier versions of Bootstrap were having CSS and jQuery, like the CDN links which we use of Bootstrap in our programs, right? If I show you one of my programs, so you can see here, this is the Visual Studio Code in which we are doing all the programs and all, and this is the Bootstrap folder where we are actually doing all the programs. And you can see here that we always use these two CDN links, right, for Bootstrap to work. One is of CSS and one is of JavaScript. There's no such particular file which is named as jQuery, right? But in earlier versions, like in Bootstrap 3 or Bootstrap 4, we used to have jQuery.min.js, in which jQuery particular file in which we use jQuery format. So Bootstrap 3 was mainly using jQuery, and right now there's no need of jQuery, because jQuery is having is mostly the same as advanced JavaScript. So all the advanced JavaScript thing which was not there earlier, jQuery was doing it. Okay, so jQuery was basically covering up the advanced JavaScript part. Okay, but then later on JavaScript also understood that, okay, I don't have these things, let's bring it up. So then JavaScript came up with ES6, and all the ES6 was having all those features, the advanced features. That's why jQuery is now not in a picture, and that is why I told you that we will be coming up with jQuery, because you need to know what was it. It will not get extinct, because many of the developers do use jQuery a lot of time. But yeah, my suggestion will be that if you know ES6, don't go ahead and learn jQuery. That's why I'm not teaching jQuery in detail. I'll be just explaining in 2 hours what is jQuery and why do we need it, how do you write it, where do we use it, all those things. That's all. That's what we are going to do in jQuery. That's all, right? So yeah, so I was just talking about in Bootstrap till where we have done. So we have understood about all these badges and all. We have seen how to create badges, how to create progress bars, how to create this spinner, the loading kind of animation, how to create this, how to use this breadcrumb thing, which also works as the links, navigation links, as you can say, and also how to create a list group. And in list group also we created list group item action, then the rounded pill, how to convert your boxes into a pill shape, and then the cards, how to create the cards. I also gave you an assignment here that how you can create a card side by side. So I don't know if you guys have done it, but yeah, that's what we have covered. And also we talked about drop down menu, which was mostly like a select an option but more advanced, and only this much of code was doing a lot of things. So I hope you must have seen all of these things. The navigation links I have taught you these all things. Also, there's also a carousel program which I have made you understand. These all things, if you have not seen, go ahead and watch all the 4 other parts of Bootstrap. This is the 5th part where we'll be understanding about model, we'll be understanding about tooltip and all other kind of features as well. Now, I have repeated this particular statement multiple times, but again, I'm going to repeat this, that Bootstrap is not a very small thing. It's a very big framework. And if you want to learn it in a better way, go ahead and learn it from getbootstrap.com, which is the document itself. You can go to docs column of Get Bootstrap and you can see what all topics have been given there. Let me just show you how does it look like. So this is my browser, and is what is getbootstrap.com. So you can directly see there will be a docs column in which you can just click on it and you can see all these customization, content, layout, how to design this, what are the commands of it, what are the components, how to use forms. All these things are given here. Okay, you can also change the version. You can see here you can change the version 4, version 3, version 2, which one you want to use. You can click on that and the document of that particular Bootstrap will open, right? But I'll suggest to use Bootstrap, the latest version, which is 5th one, because most of the developers will be using that, most of the companies will be using that, and you should be updated about all the programming languages, right? So do that. Right now, we'll be coming back to again Bootstrap, the next part, which is the model and the tooltip and all other things. But before that, I just wanted to tell you about again the Java part, because many of you have joined right now. So just wanted to give you an idea what is my next plan. So you must be understanding that we were planning about React.js and Java and MongoDB and all of those things, right? So now we have finalized something that I'm coming up with Java, and this will be starting from Monday. You will get a trailer, you will get schedule, everything you will get from Saturday and Sunday. And Monday we are starting our Java, and it will be core plus advanced, not only core. So collection framework, comparable, comparator interface, list, array list, map, hash map, exception handling, file handling, everything will be covered from scratch till the last, so that even a beginner can understand from scratch till the end. Okay, with respect to the interview. Okay, so we'll be starting it from this Monday. Sessions timing you will get to know once the trailer will be launched or a schedule will be posted in the community, and we'll be very strict about it. We'll be following all the timelines and deadlines, so that you don't have to wait for me to come. And let's see how this Java actually works. There'll be also AMA sessions, ask me anything sessions every weekend, so that we get to know what is the feedback about those Java sessions, how is it going, and also we'll review the profile. Okay, we'll review some of the resumes as well. Now, this front-end playlist which is going on right now, we have a front-end playlist which is going on right now. This is lesson number 79. We already have done some of the sessions earlier, right? So go ahead and watch those if you have not watched it, because later on this will be segregated. So we'll create one playlist in which HTML and CSS will be only there. We'll create one playlist in which only JavaScript and ES6 features will be there, and we'll create one particular playlist where only Bootstrap will be there. Okay, so because many of you have asked that, in this playlist it's all mixed up, so we will create a separate playlist for each one of them. Okay, so that will be very easy for you, right? So that's what we will be doing. That's what we'll be doing in upcoming days. We'll create a separate playlist for all of these things, and it will be very easy for you to learn from that. Right now it's a full-fledged playlist of front-end development. If anybody wants to become a front-end development, this is what they need. Okay, the last thing is about React.js. Again, I'm repeating React.js right now. It's on hold for me because React.js is being covered by another educator. Just check out. It's going really well. Go ahead and see those videos. You'll be able to learn a lot of things from there as well, right? So once React.js will be finished there, then maybe mid-February or at the end of the February, I'll be starting React.js again in my playlist, and we'll be covering that as well. Okay. So that is all about Isn't Bootstrap 5 is released? Why should we learn all versions then? Uh, Bootstrap 5 is released and we are learning Bootstrap 5 itself. You can learn the older versions also, but there's basically the versions are there because there's an update in the older one, right? So if you're learning Bootstrap 4, that's totally fine. There's nothing like there's a mistake which you have done. No, whatever is there in Bootstrap 5, the same things are there in Bootstrap 4. It's just that in Bootstrap 5 some 2-3 topics are new, right? Tomorrow you will get to know what are the topics which is new. This is part 5. Tomorrow morning, I think at 10 a.m. I'm covering part 6. There is a last Bootstrap session which will be there. Then project session is there. And after that, Tailwind CSS, and then Java will start, right? So yeah, that is what it is. Okay, so let's get started with Bootstrap. Lots of talking. I hope you got all the idea what is gonna happen. One more thing before starting the code. So it's been a long time that I've been taking very less sessions, right? So now from Java, it's gonna be very, very tedious because every day there will be 1 or 2 sessions. So I want you guys to please watch the sessions and keep a free time, and also let me know which time is suitable for you guys when you'll be available for watching the Java sessions, right? Please do let me know in the live session, in this live chat itself, when you want the Java sessions to be, morning, afternoon, or evening, or at night, because again I think lockdown will be there, so I don't know your colleges will be there or not, and if online it will be going on, then at what time you're free, right? So I need to get an idea at what time you guys will be there so that you can watch my sessions, right? Please go ahead and suggest me that so that I can schedule my timings as well, and I'll try to come every day, because right now December I didn't came online, and many of you have requested that you have not come online. Please go ahead and continue the sessions. So that's why I planned this Java session, so that it will be, continuous. So please do tell me about that as well. Sir, how good is Groupon, as I got an offer from SD1? First of all, congratulations if you have got that offer. And yes, SD1 Groupon, you can go ahead and join. I'll suggest. But yeah, again, if you have some time, like for 1 month, if you have given a particular date to join, do not stop. Go ahead and apply for another positions as well for another company. If you get a better company, go ahead and join that. It's not that Groupon is not a good company, but yeah, you can understand what I'm thinking or what I'm saying, right? So if there's a high chance that you can get another company better than Groupon, go ahead and apply. Okay, at last, if there's no way, join it, right? Because any which ways, after 1 year or after 1.5 year, maybe you will learn something and you want to move or switch to another job, right? So that will be a great idea if you can do that. I'm from Tier 3 college and it's offering 16 LPA. Yeah, that's good. Like for a beginner phase, it's good. But again, I'm telling that please do not stop there. Do not say to your mind that it's done. I've been placed and I'll stop now. Don't do that. If you have time, go ahead and apply for another big companies as well. What if you get better package and better company, right? Anything can happen. So do not stop there. Go ahead and do it, right? But yeah, if there's no chance, then at last, if there's no chance, go ahead and join this. That will be better. Okay, so let's get started with our Bootstrap model, right? So basically, we have seen a lot of things in our sessions right now, and Bootstrap, you must have seen that all the things which we can do in CSS, we are doing it using Bootstrap as well, right? It's just that in Bootstrap, small number of lines of codes are written. Whether in CSS, if we do it, it will take some large number of lines and more time, right? So model, if you see, or any particular terms, like we have tooltip, we have popover, we have toast, right? All these words are very new for you. Right now, whatever names we have used navbar, we have used carousel, we have used collapse, drop down. All these are very meaningful words, right? Drop down means, it will drop down and you have to select any of the choice, right? Carousel is, that 3 images or 4 images will be there. It just, it's like a slideshow, right? And then navigation bar, what it is used to, correct? But now in this session, whatever names you are taking, you need to understand what does it do in a better way, because earlier I've told you that if you want to use drop downs, we have a class name which is drop down. If you want to use carousel, we have a class name which is carousel. If you want to use navbar, we have a class name which is navbar or tab bar, right? But in model, you won't be, in an interview, you won't be knowing what is a model. You must be knowing about what it does, but you must not be knowing about the name of it, right? And interviewer can ask you directly what is it, correct? So in that case, you need to remember these things. I'll just write it down here. What are the different kind of Bootstrap, again, the terms do we have, right? So we have here model, okay? We have here tooltip. Again, these are very unique names. You must not have heard about these all names. So make sure that whatever expression I'll be giving you, you need to remember right here, right now, what is the meaning of that, okay? Model, tooltip, then popover, toast, scroll spy, off canvas, flex. You must be knowing about it. You have seen it in CSS. So I'll not write flex here, because these are the 6 topics which names are really unique and you do not know what is the meaning of this. So we'll be taking one by one, and we'll be covering one by one what does these all things do, okay? So let's get started with model first, and let's try to see what is model. Again, when you talk about model is basically a pop-up box, right? Which is nothing but when you click a button, a pop-up box comes in, right? Now you must be saying that we can do it using JavaScript. We can just use alert or any kind of method, and we can just use that in JavaScript and a pop-up box can come, right? Yes, we can do that, but we are again learning Bootstrap. We need to understand how easily we can do it. Using CSS and JavaScript, it will take a long number of lines to write the code. So let's see how we can do it using Bootstrap. Guys, do let me know if you have any questions. We'll cover it right away. And if you I haven't got any suggestions for the timings, please do let me know when you want me to cover Java. Evening, morning, afternoon, at what time? Mostly in evening all the sessions comes in, but you'll get confused which particular educator to follow and which particular sessions to follow, right? So give me a particular timeline or give me a time slot when you guys want the sessions to happen, the Java one, right? Because from 17th it will be a continuous session. Whole Java tutorial will be there, so please do suggest me the timings. Okay, perfect. So as you know, we are going to start with container itself. In all my Bootstrap sessions, I have been telling you why do we use this. So this is just a container which I'm using. Model is a pop-up box, so we need a button, so that the button will be, when it is clicked, will be giving me one kind of a pop-up box in which some details will be written. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to use a class. You must be knowing what I'm doing here, because this already I've done multiple times. Again, the same code in Bootstrap part 3. I have told you what is database toggle. If you do not know what is this, go ahead and see what is it. Basically, whenever you have something related with data and it is toggling, then we use this. So basically we are using models. So that's what we are going to use here. I've used this many a times. You can see a database target. In my earlier sessions, I've used this database slide 2. Then this one you can see class btn primary. Here also we have used database toggle, which is drop down. This was basically for the drop down. The toggle means when you have something to click, right? So when you switch on your switch, right? Switch on or switch off. That is what is toggle. Same thing happens with drop down or a button, right? So that's what we are doing here. We are writing a code with that. And we'll also have one more thing, which is database target, where we are just going to use this. Okay, so this is the button, and we're just going to name it as click here, right? So this is one of the button which you have created. Now, as you can see, this is just a button, right? Let's see what happens in my output. So I'm just going to open it with live server. And here you can see that we are getting a button. Why it is blue in color? BTN primary. You must be knowing primary, danger, warning, success. All these kind of colors we have already told you about. So that's why it is coming like this. But when I click here, nothing is happening. We're just getting a kind of light blue color around it, like a border. That's not what code I've written. It's basically the button feature. So whenever you click this will give you a border light color. That's inside Bootstrap CSS coding. So you have not done anything. You have not written any code for your model till now. Now we are going to write the code for our model. So let's understand how do we do that. Now, basically, if you can see in the target, you have written here my model, right? And you know what is this target? So basically this target, whenever you write, you put up a hash and then you write any particular name which you want to use, right? Like just the same how I've used your demo. In the same way I've used here my model. Now this my model is basically an ID which I'll be using in my logic code. Okay, wherever I'll write my logic, I'll be using this my model as an ID, right? So my particular logic will be written somewhere here, and let's see what I'm going to write. So I'm going to first create a div. Again, understand what I'm doing here is the logic for the pop-up box. How that pop-up box should appear, that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so model, because it is a model, and then I'm going to write the ID. So this was my ID which I have used. That's what I have created here. Okay, again I'm going to create a div and I'm going to just write here model dialog, right? So you can see here there are two divs. One is the first container. Inside that we have the second container, and that second container is the dialog box. So you know what is a dialog box? You must have seen it in JavaScript. So it's basically a box which appears suddenly, right? That's what is the dialog box. And inside this, we are going to write our content. So for content, again, we are going to create a different class, and we are going to just write here model content. See, in Bootstrap, it's mostly about knowing your code, how you are able to write it. That's why people do not want to go ahead and learn Bootstrap, because here most of the things you need to remember. You need to remember that, okay, inside this div, we need to create this particular thing. We need to create this particular thing, and then only you'll be able to see the model, right? So, but yeah, there's an advantage point as well, right? There are less number of lines of codes used. There's much more defined way of writing a code, because if you do the same thing in CSS, you never know what output you'll be able to see there, right? So that's why Bootstrap is very important, and nowadays all the developers are using it, and that is the whole motto of teaching you this particular thing. Okay, now, so this is the content. Now in content, it's basically not a general message, right? If a general message should be written, I could have written just directly a message. It will be showing you that, right? But right now we don't want a single message. What do we want? We want header, then we want a particular message, and then we want the footer as well. Okay, so you want three things. So inside the model content, inside the content, we are going to create a particular header. Right? This is the header which we have created. Now, inside this header, what we are doing is we are creating a title. So you can see here, everywhere we are using a class, and you need to remember that. So that's what is basically Bootstrap. This you have already seen in my earlier sessions. I have told you enough number of times. Again, after H4, we are creating a button. So inside that dialog box, we have a button to close the dialog box. So type button because it's a button. I'm going to use a class which will close this particular button. And what thing will be closed, that we will write here. So basically we want to close our model itself, and that's what we have written here. So this is the button which will get closed once you click on this. So once you click on this, the button will close the model itself. Okay, let's see what happens when I do this. Let's save this. Let's check out my. So you can see here, once I click on this button, we are getting something. Now, how is it getting appeared here? It's basically the dialog box, what we have written in our code. You can see here, model dialog. So it's the dialog box which is getting appeared. And then we have this content, which you can see here, the content. In the content, you can see so many spaces are there, right? Basically, that is your containers. So there are a lot of containers which is giving those spaces. So basically, first there's a container. The second, there's again one more container inside which we have written the header model heading. We have a close button also here. As you can see, why this cross sign is coming, because in the code we have written here class btn close. This also I've used in my first session of Bootstrap, if you remember, which will directly give you the cross sign. And if I go back, if I just click on this, this is gonna close that. How it is knowing that it's gonna close that particular dialog box? Because I've written here data bs dismiss model. This model is this class, so it's gonna dismiss that, right? So now this is basically that that particular header, right? Now what we are going to do is we are going to create our body inside this. So again the same thing, but this time it's not our header. I'm just going to write here body, right? Model body, and inside this, let's say I'm just writing here welcome to CodeBeyond channel. Please do subscribe. Okay, this is what I've written inside my model body. Okay, the next thing what we can do is we can also have our footer. In the same way we can create our footer. Now you must be thinking, what if I just write this message, welcome to CodeBeyond channel, please do subscribe, in the header itself? What if I do that? Obviously it will show you it in the header. Then how come this header and body is separate? How do we get to know that this header and body is separate? How the user will get to know that this is the header, this is the body? Because we have not given any horizontal line. We have not given any different color to header or different color to body, right? I'll just going to show you how it's going to appear once you are writing these all things. So just creating a footer, and here also we'll create one button. In this button, we're just going to write a name to the button. Basically, in the earlier one, we did not do anything. We just used a cross symbol, which was btn close. But in this one, we are not going to use btn close. We are going to use btn danger, which is a red color. It will not write anything. And we are also going to use the same the same logic. The logic is same. The logic is basically to close the dialog box. And here what I'm going to do is close this box. That's what I'm writing. Okay. Now let's see what happens. So if I just go back here, right now I've not saved it, so it's just giving me the header part. Let's save it, and now let's click here so you can see what's happening, how you are getting to understand that what is the header, what is the body, and what is the footer, right? So you can easily understand that this is one of the heading. Anywhere have I written that it should look different than body? No, I just mentioned that it should be H4. Correct? Have I mentioned that this cross button should be on the right hand side? No. Have I mentioned that this particular box or the button should be on the right hand side? No. So these all things are happening automatically, and that's why you are getting this particular kind of behavior. Correct? So if I close this, see again, these two things are the same thing, right? If you want to give a link here, you can give that, but that's all upon you. That's all upon the developer. Right now, these two buttons are doing the same thing. Okay. So this is basically a model. Have a look at this. Try to write this program in your book, or if you're noting it down somewhere, if you're doing this programming with me, try to do this so that you know what is a model. So I hope now you get an idea what's a particular model all about, right? Viresh Biradar, how to create a hamburger menu. Viresh, I've already explained this hamburger menu in one of my project. That was using when I did one mixed project 4 or 5. Just go ahead and watch it. It's in the playlist. So there's a front end playlist in this channel. Go ahead and see that. You will find one session of mine on JavaScript Meals Projects 4 and JavaScript Meals Projects 5. You will get one particular project where I have done hamburger menu, and I've shown you how to use Flex there and how to actually convert your hamburger menu into a cross sign. All of those things have been explained there. It will be really good if you can watch those. That will really help you, right? Good evening, Spexy. No problem, Ankit. काफी सही सही व्यूज आ रहे हैं. Is it? If it's that, then perfect. So if you guys are new here, just updating you guys again that from 17, that is on Monday, till the end of the Jan, I have scheduled a whole session about Java, core Java plus advanced Java. Everything will be getting covered in that. Not sure whether it will get covered by 31st Jan, because it can move to 4th Feb or 5th Feb till then. But yeah, I'm starting this session. It'll be continuous, no break, continuous. Whole January I'll be taking only Java, core Java and advanced Java. So soon there'll be a trailer launch. Soon there'll be a schedule which will be there in the community post. So go ahead and see, and also please tell all your other fellow mates that Java sessions will be starting soon. One more thing, React.js is on hold because other educator is taking that right now and is doing a great job. Go ahead and see that as well, because if you learn something there, if you do not learn something there, later on I will be coming up with React.js again, like maybe Feb end or Feb mid. I'll be coming up with React.js again in my playlist. So make sure that you are gaining all knowledge from everywhere. Yes, it's Bexy. That's what I'm saying. React is now getting covered from other educator, so it's really good. It's going really good. Go ahead and watch those for now, for time being. because I can't take React.js again right now, because you'll get confused whether to follow that educator or me. So that's why let's go there and learn React.js. Later on, once they will finish that, I'll again start React.js, a deep one, like the whole 15 days or 20 days tutorial one. Okay, so that's the plan. Okay, now let's understand some animations on model. Uh, how to do some animations on model. So basically, animations is nothing but if you can see here in my browser right now, if I click on this, I'm just directly getting one particular pop-up box, right? There's no animation which is happening, correct? It's just directly giving me that pop-up box. Again, also understand that this white background is becoming a gray one, right? That is also happening because of the class model. I'm not doing that. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write one particular thing in my program, which is just model fade, right? So what is this? See, this whole container, right? This whole div thing is basically that gray color part, okay? Inside that gray color part, I have the dialogue, I have the content, I have the header, the body, the footer, everything, right? So I'm making that model fade. Do you know in animations what is fade, right? Slowly comes in and then slowly goes out. The same thing is that. So if I save it, if I just go back, if I show you this, clicking here again, you can see how slowly it came and how slowly it will go. So it's not happening directly. So it's just a small animation which is happening here, right? Just writing one letter, it's doing the animation. Again, explaining, if you guys are new here, fade is just a keyword which is used in Bootstrap. Okay, the program of fade, the logic of this fade keyword is written inside this particular file, which is a CSS file here, this one, the CDN link. Very good. Okay, Spexy, I hope you have implemented that and it is working well. Try to make it big, try to make it more complex, try to make those forms, whatever you are creating, make it a big registration form, and bring that up in your e-commerce website or any of the bigger website, so that you can add it in your resume. It will really help you out in future. Okay, so that's what is your fade. Again, we have some more things, so we can actually do model size. So here you can change the size of the models. So how whenever I say size, it's always in Bootstrap SM, LG, XL, double XL, all those things. Size doesn't mean in Bootstrap that you are using pixels to increase it. No, in Bootstrap there's no value which you give. In Bootstrap it's always about the keywords, the class names, all those things. So here how you can do it, it's suppose if I'm doing this, which is model, just model SM, so it's basically telling that you are using a small screen. So if I save this, let's go back. You can see the dialog box is very small, correct? So this is what is your normal box appearance, which is SM. I'm going to keep my screen, my particular view in the browser itself. I'm just going to change this model SM to model LG. I've just written model LG instead of model SM. Let's have a look what is happening. So you can see that's what is your model LG. By default was MD, which is medium, right? And if you write here XL, so let's check out what does that do. Okay, so it's basically my screen is in LG mode. It's a tablet tablet dimension. It's just 70% of the screen, right? Because on the other 30% my particular face is coming. So the browser is only 70%. That's why you can see LG and XL is not making any difference. So when I make my browser 100%, then you can see what changes it will do. So you can try to do this in your own system. You can try to play with it. You can see what it will do when you change the size, and it will help you understand what is happening. One more is full screen. So you can just directly write here full screen and just save it. Full screen, you must be able to understand. It's gonna give you the whole screen. Okay, so the whole screen is like a dialog box, right? You can again close it and let's come back. So that was all about your model. Okay, you can center it as well. Again, here are so many keywords which you can use. So we can use here model dialog centered. This basically to bring your dialog in the center of the web page. There are a lot more, like you can scroll it also. So that also we can do. I'll just show you this one first. So basically you can see the dialog is coming in the center, not here. By default it will be above, but right now it's coming in the center. One more I'm just going to show you and then we'll move to the tooltip. Okay, so model dialog, and guys, please do let me know if I'm back. Okay, great. Perfect. Sorry guys, I think it got disconnected. My Wi-Fi got disconnected. Anyways, I'm back. So where was I? Yes, I was just showing you the scrollable thing, right? So how does this scrollable works? So basically you can scroll inside the model. So whenever a dialog box appears, if you have a large number of text, you can scroll it. I've already used this, and here you can see. So right now there is not not much long content. If you have a lot number of lines, there will be a scroll bar. You can scroll actually. Okay, so that's what is scrollable, but that will only be used when you have a large number of content in the dialog box. Right now it won't be. Okay, now so we'll move into the tooltip. One more question has been asked, I think, which is by a Viresh Biradar. Okay, I think the message got deleted, but I think I read it. So it was basically how to change the color of the color of the text, right? So if I go back here, there was a text color, right? This one, right? So you can change it using CSS directly, right? The one way is you can directly change it using CSS, because in Bootstrap mostly it's the default color. Also in Bootstrap we have one of the keyword which you can use, like I have also shown you many a times this kind of keywords which we can use, like if you look here, so you can see here BG warning, that's your background red color, right? So that's how you give that particular color. Similarly, we have text warning or text danger. So in that way you can change all those colors as well. So you can just directly write this particular keyword in your classes or anywhere, and you can change the colors as well. Now people must be asking that there are only default colors like primary, secondary, or danger. No, there is not. You can use the RGB colors or hexa colors as well, but using CSS. Okay, so you can do that, but yeah, by default these are the main colors which is given by Bootstrap. Okay, yes, Specg, you are correct, you can do that. That's what I've told you. Okay, now coming to tooltip. So model, just like model, tooltip is also the same thing, but there's one difference. So I'm just going to tell you what is it. Here there's one more new thing which is coming into picture, because in tooltip there's something which is something like model but bit unique. So here we need one extra thing which is the JavaScript code, and to understand that JavaScript code is very, very important. So I'll just write code here to just explain you what is that code basically. First of all, I'm just going to create again a container empty3, closing this. Here I'm just going to have one button, the same way how I created that. I'm just going to use the same thing. So type button, class btn primary, database toggle. Here I'm going to use tooltip, and let's say I'm adding a title. So this title which I am adding, see, in model we do not have any title kind of thing, because model is just to give you a dialog box appearance. But when it comes to title, right, title is basically, it contains a text representing advisory information related to the element it belongs to. So here in title, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a let's say I'm just going to write my name, right? Just for example, I'm just giving my name here. I'm just going to close this. In this button, I'm just going to write here, click here. Let's see what happens. At the first, let's see what happens. Okay. Written here tooltip and written here the title. That's it. Let's save this. Let's go ahead and let's see what's happened. So basically you will get a button. You know, we'll get a button. Whether it'll work or not. So it's not working. How do we get to know it's not working? You don't have any idea what, so you just clicked here and nothing is happening. That's how you're saying that nothing is happening, right? But have a look, closely have a look. So if I hover, you can see here that my mouse is giving me an option which is Ritwik Raj. I don't know if you can see it. It's very small. Let me just maximize this. Yeah, that hovering thing will be small only. So if you can see it, it's giving me a Ritwik Raj kind of thing, right? So this is, if you remember, when I taught you HTML, I did tell you about ABBR, correct? When abbreviation we use. So this is exactly that. But in HTML, when we do that, what happens? When you use it in any text, there'll be a dotted lines in below to that word. And when you hover your mouse there, it gives you the abbreviation of that, right? Same thing is happening here, but this is called as tooltip. Now, the same way, what is it doing here, right? We will do it using JavaScript as well. So in JavaScript, what you have to do is you have to add a particular code in the script. I'll just show you what is it. So basically we have to write an additional code to use our tooltip. So this script is basically a basic program, okay, of JavaScript, which is something like this. So you can see here what is happening. We have written some commands. I'll just drag here. If you have seen my ES6 or advanced JavaScript sessions, you must be knowing, half of you must be knowing what is happening here. Just have a look what code I have written here and you will get to know what is it. So what is it basically? Let's try to understand. We have written here a database toggle, which is tooltip, right? And this tooltip is basically a command which is given by Bootstrap. Okay. The same thing we have written here as well. Database toggle tooltip. So whenever this thing is getting toggled, when it is getting toggled, whenever we are hovering our mouse into that, whenever we are doing that, right? Then what's going to happen? A tooltip trigger list will get activated, and this is an array, right? And this tooltip list will be containing all those data which will come inside tooltip trigger list. Right now, this is having all the data, something like this, the title and all of those things, right? And then it's gonna return that. Okay, so let's see what changes it is doing when I'm doing these all things. So let's go back. Let's just move here. You can see here what's happening. So basically, whenever I'm hovering, now the appearance of the Ritwik Raj is changed. Earlier it was not showing me like this, but now it is showing me something like this. So adding these 3 lines of JavaScript code is changing the appearance of my you can say the tooltip, right? That's what is getting changed. And you can also see the arrow, right? So you can see whenever I'm hovering, it's not getting a space above it. It's not getting the space on the left hand side. It is just getting a space on the right hand side, and that's why Ritwik Raj is coming there. It's not even coming below, right? So it's just coming in the right hand side. You can change the direction as well. If you want it in the top, you can do that as well. But yeah, here this is something new. You have to use these 3 lines of codes of JavaScript to do this. Why we are doing this? Because this 3 lines of code is not written internally inside this particular CDN link, which is the JavaScript code. Here in this, those 3 lines of codes are not written. You have to explicitly write it. And in some of the topics which is new in Bootstrap 5, we do need to add these things. Okay. Earlier in Bootstrap 3 or Bootstrap 4, these features were not there, tooltip and all. So we used to use jQuery for that. We used to write jQuery commands for that to make this work, to make this kind of tooltip function work. But right now we have advanced JavaScript, so we are using that. See, advanced JavaScript is basically ES6, which is query selector all, slice.call, map, right? These are some of the things which were added in ES6, and that's what we are using here. So it makes it really easy and simple for you guys to use it, right? Again, the same thing as I told you, that we can position our headers, like where do we want our tooltip. So we can do that as well. Let me just show you how we can do that. So the script will be same. The script will be exactly the same. We are just going, what we are going to do here is we are just going to mention some positions. So here database toggle tooltip. Let's say I'm going to write here database placement, right? In this placement, I'm just going to put down here as down, not down. Value will always be top, bottom, left or right. So bottom. Database placement, that means the data whatever we want to print, it will be, the placement of that will be downwards, that means bottom. So title is already written, that's a button. So let's see whether it works or not. So I'm just going to save this. I'm going to go there. So you remember it was showing you on the right hand side. Right now, because I have done the placement of my data to the bottom, so now it's coming on the bottom. Let's say if I am writing my code, I'm changing it to top. So top, there is no space. Let's see what happens. So just going to save it. So you can see here top, I have written top, but top there is no space actually. That's why it is showing you it on the right hand side. Okay, so wherever there is no space, suppose if you're writing a text above, so let's do that. Let's say just going to write here one h3. Hi, my name is showing as a tooltip, just that. And now let's see if it is happening. So let's go back. You can see here it is coming at the top, right? The earlier it was coming on the right. So I hope you have understood this. This is what is basically the tooltip thing, right? Any doubts, please do let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to our another topic, which is Popover. How can we create a graph pie charts as we see in some stocks websites? Viresh, you can do this using Bootstrap as well, but that will be a little bit tedious because you have to learn a lot of classes and all. But yeah, the very easy way to do that is CSS or preprocessors, SAS or less. And I think pie charts creation also I have explained you in my sessions in the playlist. I don't remember exactly which session, but this was that session where I've explained about how to create a circle, and then from the circle how you can in that circle how you can segregate some percentages, like 40% if you want to change the color of that circle, then that 40% will be blue in color and the other 60% will be red in color, and it forms a pie chart. So I've explained that in my CSS coding. Uh, I believe the end part of the CSS when I was covering the last part of the CSS. Go ahead and check it out. It is there. If any of the learners who is watching this right now and they remember the session name, please put it down in the comments so that Viresh will get a help, right? But yeah, Viresh, I have done that. Go ahead and check it out. If suppose you're not willing to check it out, just search in Google once how to create a pie chart using CSS. I think you will get a website and you'll be able to understand that, right? Uh, so you can do it using CSS. There are several other ways as well, but do not go ahead with that. For pie charts, I think CSS will be a much easier way to do it. Okay, so we have done this particular tooltip once. Now, if you have any questions, please do let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to our popover. Again, in popover, same things we have. It's just that this particular program, whatever we have written here, only one thing will change, that everywhere, wherever we have used tooltip, we will be using popover. That's it. Right? Wherever we have used our so let's change that to popover. Okay, and this one also will change, but this one was having a capital P. So just write here popover. Also this query selector, all database toggle, here we will just write popover. Similarly, I can change this as well because, oh god, 1 second. I hope you guys can see my code. Viresh, I know it will be really it will be a bit hectic for you to go ahead and watch my sessions again to find out where I've explained that. So again, just telling you that go ahead and just watch those sessions which you've already seen. If you've not seen any of the sessions, try to do all the sessions of CSS, okay? Because that is not a basic CSS which I've done. I have covered all the hard topics as well. So go ahead and check that out as well. Here I'm just going to write popover. That's it. Placement and all we will remove it for now because I just want to show you how it is normally looking. Title, I'll just keep it as Ritwik Raj. Button is the same thing. Here, after title, we'll have one more thing in our popover. So that is database content. In database content, we can add whatever content we like. So let's say I'm just going to write welcome to CodeBeyond. Right? Let's say just that I've written. Let's see what does it do. So this is popover. Let's see what is happening when I'm doing this. You can see here. So basically it's a clickable thing. Whenever you're clicking, I'm getting a content. The title is Ritwik Raj and down below is the content which is welcome to CodeBeyond. So this is something which is called as popover, right? Again, model. Remember, whenever it is model, it's a dialog box appearance. Whenever it is a tooltip, it's basically a kind of hint to the text or to the button, correct? And whenever it's popover, it's basically the clickable thing. So when you click, you get a particular message. You must have seen this many times in web pages, and now you know how to do that, right? So there are a lot of things in Bootstrap how you can actually do all of these things. Okay, let's come back to our code. Hi Surya. So when you start JS project, your JS lecture is over or remaining any lecture? No, JS is already over. JS projects are also there in the playlist. If you have not seen it, go ahead and watch it. Always, I've also explained you in those sessions of projects of JavaScript, like what other projects you can create. I've created actually a list of project which was something like this. I just wrote that you can create this project, you can create this project, you can create this project. And I think most of you have seen that there was a large number of audience which were there with me when I was teaching JavaScript project. So go ahead and watch that, Surya, if you have not seen that. JavaScript Miss projects number 4 or number 5 in the playlist. You can just watch it. There are a lot of projects which I have covered there. Check out that. It will be really helpful for you, right? And if you want to know what other projects you can add in your resume, that also I've told you there. So it will be really good if you can check out that. Okay. No other session will be there on JavaScript for right now. Maybe later on I'll be coming up with it again. But right now, no sessions have been planned for JavaScript because just now we completed that. Okay, cool. So Popover is done. We can again position it wherever you want. So the same thing you have to use. You have to use here database placement. So let's say I'm just going to use it here. Data. Keep practicing about these all things, because once you get a break, or you're just leaving and you're not using Bootstrap, you will forget all the things. Okay, so make sure that you're at least using it every day. Database placement top. Top, I don't think I have so much of a space. Let's do one more thing. Let's try to add here h4. I hope you guys are enjoying and learning. Hi Surya, any or paid course, I want to join you. Currently in Unacademy, I'm not doing any paid course, right? But if I'm coming up with any of the course, I'll soon let you know. Maybe special classes I'll do. These are all free classes which is on YouTube directly. But if any special classes I will do, uh, when people take subscription and then special classes are happening for them. If I do that, I will notify you guys and I will suggest you guys to do join that, because that will be having detailed concepts, not only the upper part of it but the detailed ones. So yeah, but not right now. I'm not taking any sessions right now. If in future any comes, I will surely let you know. So I'm just creating one more h4 here, database placement. I think I've written it. Yeah, it's already done. Let's see if it works. It's not working. It's not going at the top. I think it's all about the spaces. That much space is not there. That's why it is not working. Let me do one more thing. Let's just hit up one more part. Here you go. Let's check out now. Okay, 1 second. I hope database placement spelling is correct. Let's try your bottom ones. Okay, so there is something wrong. Let's check out what is wrong. Okay, so bottom is not working. Okay, let's check out what is happening. So pop over trigger list anywhere. Have I done any mistake? Pop over Bootstrap. Okay, let's remove these for now. We have our button, we have type button, we have database toggle pop over. Okay. I don't think it will work in button. Let's check out database placement. I hope its spelling is correct. Data content. One second. Let's check out now. Or also we'll write one title here. Let's check out now. Okay, so yeah. So we are getting it now. Uh we are getting it bottom. Let's check out if it is working in top. I think the problem was on database content. It will be data content only. Earlier also we have used data content. I don't know why I have written here database. I'm just changing it to top, as you can see here. Just change it to top. Let's save this. Yeah, so it is working. Okay, that was one of the error from my side. I have written database content. Database content, when you write, it's basically the content when you want to write the content, the actual content. But earlier also I've used data content only. Somewhere just now I used data content, right? See, model content, data content also I've used somewhere. So that is what is one of the difference. So make sure you know about this. Okay. Perfect. Any doubt? Fine. So that is all about Popover. Now let's move ahead and let's learn about Toast. So first let's recap. From the six of them, we have already covered three of them. So model is basically the dialog box. So let me just write here. You must be now remembering about all of these things. So first one is the dialog box. The second one is a tooltip. So tooltip is basically what? It's the hint. So whenever you hover, you get a hint. Also one more thing guys, in Popover, see, whenever we are clicking on the button, right, only that time we are getting it. You remember? So whenever I'm clicking, only at that time I'm getting. Hovering is not giving me anything. Whenever I'm clicking, that's only when I'm getting this particular thing. Also, whenever I'll click again, it will disappear, right? So this is not like uh, Popover will only work like this. No. If you want to make it disappear automatically, you can do that, right? And also you can make it hover. So when you hover your mouse to that particular button, it will disappear or it will come back. That also you can do, right? So it's all about your code. So let's say this is the button, right? So here what you have to do, type button class btn primary dbs. Here what you have to do in database toggle, you have to just write here dismissible popover. Okay, and database trigger, these are some of the classes which you have to add to make it work like that. So I'm just going to write here focus data title we have already written. So let's make this data content to database content, because now I want to show this particular content. When you write data content, the content will not be shown, only the header will be shown, which is the title. Right now I want to show it. So let's go ahead and check out what is happening. So here you can see right now what I'm doing is I'm just hovering and you can see it says Ritwik, which is my title, right? So it is showing, it is not working when I'm clicking, right? So it is a dismissible popover, just like how your tooltip works, right? So based on your classes, based on one of those particular commands or keywords, you can change your code. Okay, so learn about that. Don't go so much deep because you won't be using that in the future, but yeah, have an understanding of that because these things can be asked in your interviews as well. Not a very important topic, but yes, just if it comes in interviews mind, they can throw this question to you. So just remember that. Okay, so I was talking about here popover is basically what, um, clicking and getting a hint, right? You can change it. It's kind of a pop over. Okay, toast, and let's just cross by and all of those things. Okay, hi ready, sir, please start the react.js tutorial. Ready, again, if you have just joined, let me tell you that react.js is already taken, it's already getting taken by one of the educator. That's why I am not taking right now. um, Go ahead and watch his sessions, because react.js is also, uh, I mean, he's taking in a very great manner. So go ahead and watch his sessions as well. Soon I'll be coming up with React.js, but not right now. Once those sessions will get completed, I'll again start React.js. Maybe by mid-Feb or end of the Feb, I will start React.js. A new playlist will be created that will go on for 20 to 25 days, in which I'll be only covering React.js. So don't worry, React.js will be coming, but do not stop learning. Learn something else. Or if you want to only learn React.js, go ahead and learn React.js, which other educator is taking, right? Go ahead and learn from that. Fine. But yeah, I'll be soon coming up with that as well. Now, toast. So toast component is also again like a alert box, but it's kind of a message, right? So let's say that you have a blog page, right? You have a universal or a public blog page, where what happens whenever a person is commenting, uh, you get to know that they have commented and how many minutes back they have commented. Also, you can close that comment, you can delete that comment, you can remove that comment. That's all in your hand. So that is what is called as toast. That's also alert box. Let's try to understand how to create that. So for this one, we do not use any JavaScript. So that's a very best part. Remember again, where do we need the JavaScript code? We only need it for tooltip and popover. Tooltip is basically a hint and popover is also a hint. But here it's more of a clicking part. So I'm just going to comment this. Sir, is Bootstrap really used in near future life? If we put in our resume, will be a bit of any value? Spexy, if you want to become a front-end developer, like a UI developer or UX developer, Bootstrap is must. Okay, in 2000, see, in earlier days, in earlier years, it was not that in demand, because we were having jQuery, we were having lot of advanced CSS part, people were using CSS preprocessors. But right now, when Bootstrap newer version came, like which is Bootstrap 5, there are a lot of things which can be done easily using Bootstrap, which will become hard when you do it using CSS or Sass or stylus, right? So that's why right now Bootstrap is in demand. And yes, adding it to a resume will actually fetch you a very good job. Again, this is only for those people who want to become a front-end developer or a UI developer, not for those who want to become a full stack or a web developer, because for them, most important part is your programming languages or backend programming, coding, those, correct? Not deep diving into Bootstrap framework, right? Because if they know little bit of HTML, CSS and JavaScript, they can create these things as well. They can create these particular notifications bar or alert boxes, right? But for a front-end developer, it's very important for them to write a small code yet very effective. That's why Bootstrap is a must in their resumes, right? I do not care what other people will be saying or what are their suggestions or what are their intakes about this. But personally, I have felt that this is really very important. I've seen many of my uh, like I also take interviews, so I've seen many of my uh, colleagues or my fellow mates who knows Bootstrap really well. So go ahead and do that. That's why it is important. Okay, so let's try to do this particular toast. Toast comes for some period of time, whereas alert stays until you dismiss it. Toast also is an alert kind of thing. Okay. Now let me tell you one difference about alert and toast. So alert is basically when you click something, then that alert box appears. Okay. So whenever an event is happening, not only click, let's bring it in a different way. So whenever an event is happening, that's the time when an alert will come. So let's say when your page is loading, once the page gets loaded, you get a pop-up box, right? There's a button. When you click that button, a pop-up box appear. That's what is an alert. But a toast is basically not clicking anything, not having any particular part. It just pops up. Whenever your page loads, it just pops up. That's what is toast. Now that pop-up, you can close it. So let me give you one particular example of it. You must have seen whenever you open a particular web page, a new web page, one message pops on, right? It says that accept all cookies. Correct? So when you click on close button or when you click on accept all cookies button, that pop-up disappears. Correct? That is what is your toast. So whenever that page loads, automatically that pop-up box will come up and it will say that, this is a toast. If you want to close it, you can close it. Otherwise, just keep on working with the web page. There's no problem. But it will take up that space. It will take up that space. Okay. Yes, that's what. Nobody actually focuses on jQuery right now because jQuery is now deprecated. I won't say deprecated. It's still there, but nobody is using it. Well, because Bootstrap is on higher standard, JavaScript is now in higher standard, so there's no need of jQuery. So, but yeah, most of my seniors are using jQuery nowadays. Also, the beginner people, it is not required. Okay, fine. So for toast, how to write a program? Let's see how we can do that, and then we'll move to our next thing, which is cross by and off canvas. So here again, I'm going to create a div. Just going to write a div class container empty3. Here you can add whatever. I'll add some of the text here because I need some space basically. And inside this, I'm going to again create one div. Going to create a class. This class I'll be using toast show. Okay. Again, for this toast, if all other components are having headers, we can have toast header as well. See, again, I'm explaining the people who have joined newly. It's not important to remember all these commands. It's not that only my video is showing these commands. You can go ahead and look out in documents of getbootstrap.com. You will find all these classes there and you can learn it from there. This is just 30% or 45% of the thing which I'm showing you right now because these are important. The other half are already there in the getbootstrap.com website, which is the official website. You can see there, read the document from there if you want to get more deep inside these things. Toast header. Just going to use one more command, which is it's strong. I hope you know what is it strong. Going to just use one of the command, which is me auto, and going to write a toast header. This is the strong thing. Now I'm going to have a button. Type button class. I'm writing a button close. That means there'll be a cross sign. Always I've told you this. Data BS dismiss. Again, have an understanding. Do you remember I wrote here data BS toggle dismissible popover? Remember this. Here it is using dismissible popover, but in most of the other components we used to use database dismiss. I think here also I've used database dismiss, right? So in most of the things, these are some of the changes which you need to focus on. Keep these things in your mind. So this is my button which I have given. So you must be knowing what should it should give me, right? Let's save this. Let's check out once what is happening. So if you look here, we have a header and we have this cross button here. Now we need a body here. So I'm just going to write one body code for that, and that's it. Then we are going to just close it. So this is the div, this is the header, right? So I'm just going to create here one more div, going to write a class, going to write here toast body, and just one particular line here. So let's say I'm going to use this line, right? Let's save this. Let's go ahead and have a look. So if you look here, this is what is my toast. Again, have a look. Whenever I am reloading, what's happening? This particular message is coming. And now if I close this, it get closed, right? So it is more easy, right? You are getting a pop-up box directly. Again, one more thing, what you can do is, let's say if I'm reloading it, right? Again, you are getting this message. So every time you reload, every time the user will reload, he will get this kind of pop-up box there. It can be anything. It can be like somebody has commented in your blog and the comment is this. The person name is this, right? And beside this cross button, you can write here 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. Okay. So that's basically how much, like at what time the person has actually commented in your blog. Those kind of things you can do here. You can actually make the size also. You can use again the same thing, data SM, LG, Excel, to make it bigger, to make it smaller. Those all things you can do here. But yeah, this is what is a toast. Again, all these things, if you look here, are actually the same thing. Model is a dialog box which can disappear. Tooltip is a hint which can disappear. Popover is also a kind of a hint which can also disappear. Toast is also a alert box which can disappear, right? So these all things are same, but the look and the feel of each one of them is different, right? So that's what it is. Let's move to scroll spy. If anything is there which you are not understanding, please do let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to our scroll spy. Scroll spy is basically a very simple and easy thing, but here the most important part is to understand the code of it. Hi Ayush. So can you please name the educator who's taking the React.js course? Yes, his name is Soham. So you can see already his playlist will be there. I don't know if playlist is created, but yeah, the sessions have been started yesterday evening, I believe. So go and check out. His name is Soham. Sessions are doing really well. So if you want to learn from there, you can go ahead and learn. There's no problem in that. Okay, great. So yeah, let's get started with this code, which is on scroll spy. Now this code is really very big, and I just want to explain you how this works. So first of all, I just wanted to show you what is the use of it, right? So what I'm going to do here is this body, I'll just remove it from here, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to just write here this code. Now have a look what I have done. Clearly it's a very long code, right? But why I've done that, just to show you what is actually scroll spy. First of all, understand what is it doing, and then we'll come back to the code. Okay. If you look at this, the output, if you look at the output once, let me just bring you back here. I'll close this. this is a particular web page. I'm just scrolling here. First thing which you will notice in this particular page is that there are three sections, section 1, section 2 and section 3. But whenever I'm scrolling right now it's section 1 which is white in color, and if I scroll down, the section 2 is now white in color, and if I scroll down again, you can see section 3 is white in color, right? So what is happening? This is one thing. Second thing which you will notice here is that if I scroll also till the down, this black portion is still at the permanent location. This is not getting scrolled. This is fixed. So you know which particular CSS feature does that position, right? But yeah, it's Bootstrap, so we do not have to use the position thing. We will see what code we have written. One more thing. This is the second thing which I have told you. Third thing. If I click on section 2, it will take me. So if I click on section 3, it will take me. This is what is cross spy. And now let's check out what is the code based on that, right? One second, guys. I'm not sure if I am. Okay, perfect. Right. So you can see here what all things are there. See, most easy part is this one. So there's an ID. There are three containers in which different paragraphs and all is written. So we have this, and we have this. Three sections. Section 1 ID, section 2 ID, section 3 ID. In class, we have written most. See, did I tell you about text white? I told you in this session itself, right? I told you about you can change the text color. This is how you can change. This is text white. This is text white. Here they have not written text white. I think the color is different here. Yeah, the color is black in section 2. That's why they have not written text white. So whatever color you want, you can use that. BG success, which is background, should be a green color. BG warning, which is background, should be a yellow color. BG secondary, which is I think a different kind of color, which is a gray color, right? So that's why we written this class. In style, we have embedded the CSS and we've written padding and for top and bottom and left and right. That's what we have done. And there is this H1 and some paragraphs. I hope there's no confusion in these three things. So half of the code is done. Okay, let's move to the upper part of this. Now to the whole body, remember, to the whole body. Till now, we have not written such kind of code. We have not written any command to be given to the whole body. We have given in this to the body. So the whole web page is based on this. The whole web page is based on this. Database spy scroll, database target.navbar, which is given here, right? So that's how it will work. Database offset is 50. That's basically the offset position of CSS. I hope you remember the offset position. Okay, and then in the navigation bar, this is the navigation bar. Remember, section 1, section 2, section 3, the black color bar. That's what we are creating here. See, background dark, navbar expand SM, that is the small size, navbar dark, and fixed top. Fixed top, remember, now the position I told you. So we have to just write fixed top. So it's fixed in the top part. Div class container fluid, that means it will take the whole range. I hope you remember in grid system I told you about container fluid, right? So I told you about container and container fluid. Container will only take the small amount of size. Container fluid will take the whole screen size. That's why the bar is taking the whole screen size. Then we have the nav bar. So UL, and then slowly we are creating our LI. 3 LIs are there for section 1, section 2 and section 3. Very easy, very simple. It's just that you need to remember this thing, right? So a long code, but still it's very easy to understand this, right? So I hope you have understood this. Any particular doubt, any particular keyword which you are not understanding, or any particular command which you have not understood here, please do let me know. But I think this is the most amazing code which I have shown you right now, because remember I gave you one project on the same thing we did one project using CSS, where I told you about landing page. So when you click uh, skills, it shows you the skill page. When you click on projects, it gives you the project page. I remember I did this in my mixed project session 3, I believe, or 4. Uh, and in there was a long code of CSS which I used. But here we do not have to use that. We have to just use Bootstrap, that's it. And it is not even taking larger number of lines. Correct? So I hope you have understood that. Sir, I'm a big fan of you. I hope you are following all my sessions if you are a big fan, Ayush. So please do watch all the sessions. That is really, it will be helpful for you. Okay. Let's try to do the last one, which is off canvas, and we will finish this session. So it's called spy. Let me just write it here that it's basically whole page scrolling, right? Mostly in this manner, you can actually remember this. Off canvas, what is this now? So let me just try to comment this part, because right now we have already done the code of this. Oh god. So let me just comment this up. And because I removed the body from there, so I need to again write the body code. So we will write that. But right now we'll just first of all understand what is this body. What is this off canvas part. So let me just show you first what is this off canvas, and then I'm going to explain you the code of it. There are some codes written here. Let me just save this and let me just go back to my browser. Here you can see this is saying it as right off canvas, right? What is the meaning of off canvas? That means canvas is basically a particular drawing canvas where you can draw something, right? So a new sheet of paper is nothing but a canvas, right? So if you click on this button, you will get a right canvas, right? I also remember that I did this particular project in my mixed projects 4 and 5, where I showed you how you can create this kind of canvas where there will be a close button. When you close this canvas will get closed, and there'll be a menu which will be written here. So if you click on home page will open. If you click on careers page will open. I remember this really well. In my project, the canvas was not on the right hand side, it was on the left hand side. If you're following me from the project part, you must be remembering that particular project. So all these things I have done it already in my previous sessions, but using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And now I'm just showing you how easy it is to use Bootstrap to do the same thing. So this was toggling of right off canvas. So let's have a look what is written in my code. Before that, have a look that there are two things. First, this content. Second, this content. So remember that there are two content which we need to write. So first content is this content. Second content is this content. Have a look that we have created a div that's a off canvas, and this is the off canvas end, right? And in that end we have a header. So let me just bring back to you the part where this is the part. This is the header. Inside the header we have written the heading part and the cross button, right? After that we have 3 paragraphs and 1 button at last. This button is not doing anything, but this button is closing my right canvas. So we have 3 things. Let's see the code. We have the header. The title is giving us heading. There's a btn close thing which will dismiss the off canvas. So one part is done. The header part is done. Now comes the body part, in which we have 3 paragraphs and 1 button. Very easy. No extra code which is written here and you're not getting it. You're not understanding it. Everything you know about it, right? Then we have another div which is a container fluid empty3. Container fluid, that means it will take the whole width of my web page. So let's go back to my browser. This is what is my another div, and what's happening here, let's check out. So we have written here one h3 and a paragraph, but now this is very important. So we have the button, which is btn primary type button, database toggle off canvas. Remember that if you do not mention your off canvas, then whenever you click on that button, it's not gonna take you to this part, because this is what is off canvas if you look here, right? So this is really very important. Also database target demo, so that is what is the ID which you can see here, right? And that's why whenever you're clicking on this particular button, it is giving me that part. Okay, now we can change the directions as well. We can put it on the left hand side, on the right hand side. So how do we do that? See, the end part, whenever you write, that's the end of the web page, so it's the right hand side. So suppose if I write here top, then let's see what happens. If I go back to my browser, fine, easy. Similarly, you can write here bottom, and also you can mention start. So start will be, I guess, left. Fine. So now it is very easy, right? It's now very easy for you to do all these things, because once you click on any of the button, a new menu bar is coming, and you can give any links here and it will work totally fine. So this is a very easy thing which you can do using Bootstrap. Okay, great. Any person who has not understood this or is not getting it, I hope you guys are getting this. Fine. So that was all about off canvas. Now let's understand what is flex, and let's end this particular session. Okay. So flex, you guys must be knowing about it, because already I have taught you what is Flexbox in CSS, and Flexbox is basically to put up all your content in a particular structure. If you have 4 to 5 containers, you can arrange all the 4 to 5 containers in one particular horizontal web page, so that it gives you more space, right? So that's why we use flex, and using flex in Bootstrap is much more easy than CSS, because here we do not have to worry about align items, justify content, justify center, and all of those things. Here, how do we write a flex? Let's understand. So we write a div class container empty3. There's a particular h2 and a paragraph. Do not care about that. What do we care about here is this part. Now understand, again, we do not care about these 3 things. We do only care about this part. So have a look what's written. Text white. That means the content will be of text white in color. BG secondary, background color of this div element will be a gray color. But inside that gray color, there'll be a light blue color, yellow color, and a blue color. P3, I hope you know this. What is it? And deflex. Don't tell me if you do not know what is P2. I have explained you this many a times, and I also hope that you do know what is MT3. Okay, deflex, you know what is it. You must be using it many times in your CSS, so I hope you know that. Have a look what is happening when I'm doing that. You must be knowing what I'm doing. See, what if I'm not writing these all things? Basically, this whole flex item 1, flex item 2 will be something like this. Flex item 1, flex item 2, flex item 3. Right? But right now what is happening? One second. Something which is getting missed. Body, right? Have I not written the body? I have not written the body. Yeah, so you can see here. Okay, this is what is your deflex. Okay, do let me know if you have any doubts here. I'm not getting any comments. Also, I did not get any timing suggestion when you want Java sessions to happen. At what time? Please do let me know at what time do you want the sessions to happen. I actually need those times, those slots. Okay, let's try one more thing. So what we are going to do here is we are going to just write here inline, the inline flex. Let's check out what is happening. Right now I have not saved the file. So this is what was dflex. Now let's save it and you can see this is d inline flex. Okay. Again, you can also change the directions, the horizontal direction and other things. So let's check out how to do that. For directions, what you do, the same way how you written here d inline flex. Here, let's just remove this inline flex first of all. For d flex itself, what you can do here is you can write here flex row. Okay. Let's check out what is happening. So I have not saved the file. This is the inline flex. I have written dflex. So if I save this, you can see here it's dflex. Also, this is flex row, right? So this is your flex row. Now what I'm going to do is flex row reverse. So in flex row, basically you're getting all the content on the left hand side. If I do flex row reverse, then you are getting all the content on the right hand side. So this is how you can adjust your container or content. Okay, this is very easy in Bootstrap. In CSS, what you have to do this, the same thing you will do, but you have to add a lot of things there, like flex wrap and then flex direction, then flex, maybe it will be row or column wise. All those things you have to do there. But here you don't have to do all of those things. You have to just write all of the things in a one statement, in just one line, right? So this is the difference between, most important difference between your Bootstrap and CSS. One more thing, the same thing you can do here. You can do a column reverse, just the way you have done the row. So basically when row, it's horizontal, column is vertical. This you must be knowing because you have learned it in CSS. So there's no explanation to that. You can see here this reverse 1, 2, 3 from down to up. If you do not write reverse, basically it will give you a 1, 2, 3, the direct thing. Okay, cool. So this was all about flex. Directly you can use it. In the next sessions, what we are going to do is we are going to understand all about forms, how to use Bootstrap in forms, and we are going to understand about that. Okay, so I hope these all topics also was really very easy for you to understand. And let me just write here that we have understood about flex. Off canvas was basically any questions, please do let me know. Yeah, so this was basically the sidebar. Okay, so I hope these all concepts are clear for you. And these are the most advanced topics of Bootstrap, which is inside Bootstrap 5. The flex property also is new in Bootstrap 5. It was not there in Bootstrap 3 or 4. So basically in Bootstrap 5 we have Flexbox. In Bootstrap 4 we used to have floats to do these layouts, but now because JavaScript is also there in Bootstrap 5, so we have Flexbox. So in earlier Bootstrap 3 or Bootstrap 4, nobody was using flex properties. So these are the things which are something new. Please do follow these particular concepts as well. Right, so I hope you have understood all of these sessions, and this session is really helping you guys. And tomorrow at 10 a.m. again I am coming up with Bootstrap, another session on forms, and we'll be learning about in forms in Bootstrap, how to create a form validation and all of those things. So I'll catch up tomorrow. You can also join the Telegram channel so that you get an update, all notifications about all the educators when they're coming live, at what time, what topic. All those things will be notified there. So please do join the Telegram channel. The link is given in the description. Okay. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, which is CodeBeyond, because if you will hit the notification bell, you will get an update or notifications in the YouTube app as well. Also, more and more number of people will be able to get to know about this free content. So please do like and share if you're liking it, right? Do share it in your LinkedIn profile, so that more and more number of people will be able to get to know about it. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I'll meet you really soon. And if you have any questions, I'll be just here till 10. So that if you have any questions, you do let me know. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know, so that I'll take that suggestion. I'll be there till 10. Do let me know if you have anything. If you want to ask something, do let me know about that as well. Again, repeating that I need suggestions for your timing. So please do let me know which time will suit best for Java, because from Monday I'm starting Java. So please do let me know uh, at what time do you want me to take those sessions. Uh, I'll I'll make some changes and I'll bring that session at that time. Okay, guys, I'll meet you tomorrow then. Thank you so much for watching this session. I'll meet you tomorrow exactly at 10 a.m. And till then, tata, bye bye, take care, good night.